Netflix pushes diversity now, which is good. Hollywood does as a whole. I never realized how important it was until they started doing it, and then I watched old movies. Like I rewatched Home Alone, one of my favorite movies of all time, and I never realized how big that movie is. Have you guys rewatched Home Alone recently? That might be the whitest movie ever made. Did you know there are no black people in Home Alone? Not one. That's a movie set in Chicago. I don't know if you guys have been to Chicago, but they're well represented. The closest there is to a black person is a cardboard cutout of Michael Jordan, and Kevin tapes him to a toy train to scare off white burglars. And I'm like, I see why there's diversity now. But now I'm used to it, so now when I watch a Netflix thing, I'm like counting how many whites there are. And I'm like, it's too many whites, you know? Like I was watching this thing today, and I saw 2 straight white dudes in the same scene. I was like, wait a minute, this is not okay. And then I took a closer look, and I realized it was just a reflection of me in the screen. And I'm like, all right, I'll allow it. A lot's changed since last time I was here. The world ended. For a while, there was a worldwide pandemic. I don't know if you guys watched the news. It's pretty good story there for a long time. I don't even know if it's over, I think. I can't tell. No one's come out to tell us either way. I feel like Greta Thunberg should come out and just give us good news for once in her little life and be like, hey, I know I'm like the groundhog of bad news, but the pandemic's over, everybody. I think she should be the one to tell us. She should be given that honor, but I don't know. I thought the pandemic ended in March of 2021, and I actually declared that it was over. I yelled out loud. I declared the pandemic is now over. I have no jurisdiction to do that. But I saw so many other people yelling craziness about the pandemic that I felt left out, all right? But I really thought the pandemic was over in March of this year because I was flying home from Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah. Oh, are you? Okay. I've never, all right. Yeah. They do have an airport. You all right? I was flying home from Kansas City, Missouri, and across the aisle, this lady had the whole row to herself, and she laid down, face down, into the airplane seat cushion. Just face right into it. No pillow, no rolled up sweatshirt, just face into a seat cushion. And I was looking at her, I'm like, yeah, I think the pandemic's over now. But it is not. There is more. Man, this pandemic, it's just, I don't know, a bunch of craziness has happened. Feels like a Super Bowl halftime show. That's what it is. Like a really long one when we're at home and we're just like, yeah, I guess this is entertaining. But when can we go back to the thing we showed up for? You know? It's definitely entertaining moments, but it's a little long in the tooth. Yeah? Wrap it up. I miss this. I miss doing comedy in front of people. Like during the pandemic, I didn't stop doing comedy. I was doing comedy on Zoom. I don't know if you guys, Zoom, the meeting app? That should have been illegal. But they let us do comedy on Zoom. If you don't know what that is, comedy on Zoom is exactly what I'm doing right now, except I would be doing it in my living room, doing it into my laptop screen, which hurts my heart just to talk about. Here's something you might not know about comedians, but if we bomb at a venue, we just don't go back to that venue, all right? There's plenty of bars and restaurants I've never stepped foot back into in San Diego where I live because I bombed there, and they've offended me. And when I drive by, I give them an ugly look, all right? Because I remember that they hurt my heart. But during the pandemic, I was doing comedy on Zoom in a place I pay to live at, so I couldn't even leave. The next day, I would just wake up and I'd make coffee in the morning, like, yep, that's where it happened. That's where I lost my dignity. Now, when I did Zoom comedy, I did try to make it feel like the real thing. So what I asked was for everyone to put their microphones on so I could hear the laughter. So it was like this. And I remember in December, I did a company Christmas party at 1 in the afternoon. which that should have been illegal, all right? Nothing is funny at 1 in the afternoon, okay? You can't do comedy at 1 in the afternoon. God's watching, all right? It's meant to be done at night in secret, you know? That's what comedy's meant to be. But I was doing comedy at 1 in the afternoon, and I asked everyone to put their microphones on, and there was an older lady in the audience. I could tell by her voice. She didn't have her video on, it just said Nancy on the screen. And she had her microphone on, but I don't think she meant to. Because like 2 minutes into my act, I hit a punchline, and everybody laughed. And for a second, I'm like, all right, this feels good. This feels like the real thing. And as soon as the laughter died down, Nancy, who doesn't realize her microphone's on, goes, I don't know how much more of this I can take. I gotta get to Costco. Really taking the wind out of my sails right now. Man, I do not miss Zoom. I did another company Christmas party that same day, and you know how you can see the other members of the meeting up at the top? I had someone leave my show by closing their laptop screen. Do you get why that hurts? Like, they just I saw them make the decision and execute. Like, it's dark in here. I can see the first few rows, but if someone in the back was like, I can't stand this, I gotta leave, I'll never know. And I'll leave tonight going, I had a fun show. But this person just looked in my soul and went, that's about enough of you. Do you get why that hurt? She didn't leave the meeting, she left technology. My wife and I, we voted for Hillary, and that didn't work out. I don't know if you guys got the news, that did not. That pony did not place. We tried. We tried. Everyone in my neighborhood is sad, and they're hoping he fails. I'm not. I'm rooting for him because I live here. That's my reason for rooting for him. I hope he doesn't do all the crazy stuff he said, but I'm rooting for him because it's weird to root against the president of the country you live in. That's like rooting against your parents. And then coming home and being surprised the fridge is empty. That's like, yeah, you booed Mom and Dad enough, and now there's no Sunny D. How do you feel about it? I'll be honest, I'm still nervous. I'm nervous. Yeah, I'm nervous. Because historically, nothing good has ever happened when the rednecks are happy. I'm not saying that can't change in the next 4 years, but in our history, that's never been the case. In our history, anytime there's a bunch of people going, woohoo! That's followed by centuries of the rest of us going, we are so sorry. Those people were out of line. I apologize. They are no longer in charge. We're so divided. I can feel it this year. Everyone just picked a side and went, ugh. Doesn't matter who you voted for, we all just look at each other like, there's one of them. Look at his stupid face. His stupid face, yeah. It's so weird. I blame the internet. I blame Facebook, social media. I don't think we're all supposed to know each other. I don't think we're all supposed to be connected. I don't think that was ever the plan. Because it ruined things. You can't have acquaintances anymore. Remember acquaintances? They're people you kind of knew. And that was it. His name's Rich. He works at the hardware store. We talk about sports. And that is all you knew about Rich. And it was fine. And that's all you needed to know about Rich. But no more. Now you got to be friends with Rich on Facebook. And you're like, oh, my God. Rich is in the Ku Klux Klan. I had no idea. I thought he just loved the Chargers, but no, there's more. And he's a high-ranking member. He's wearing a purple robe. He's not a foot soldier. He's doing their bookkeeping. This was unexpected. So weird. I did some adult things this year. I did do that. I fixed a toilet at my house, which I'm really proud of. Thank you. Yeah, most people are like, who cares? Well, you don't know enough about me, all right? I grew up without a dad, and I've rented my entire life, okay? You don't fix things when you rent. Let me tell you homeowners about that. You don't fix things when you rent. You work around them until the lease is up, and then you go rent a new place with a working whatever that is. That's how it works. But my wife she didn't grow up that way. So I came home from the road, and she's like, the toilet's hissing. And I'm like, okay, well, we got 3 more months. And then we'll find a place without a hissing toilet. And she goes, you gotta go fix it. And well, why me? That's sexist. Why do I have to go? Neither of us know how to use that Stanley tool set your mom bought us for Christmas. Like, why do I have to go? That's not fair. But she's like, you got it. So I went in there. And by the way, it wasn't a bowl issue. Any idiot with forearms can fix a bowl issue. I was working in the tank, all right? That's the motherboard of the toilet. People make a living off of working in the tank, all right? They go to community college for a couple years to learn how to work in the tank. That's just not anybody off the street messing around in the tank in there. I don't know if you flipped a tank open recently. How archaic is that business in there? Has that ever been updated? They just made one invention on the toilet tank and like, yeah, we're good forever. That'll be good. That ought to work for the rest of the time. I looked in there. It looked like an erector set from the 50s. That's what it looked like in there. Or it reminded me of that board game Mousetrap. Remember Mousetrap? That's what's in there. You hit the lever, a marble comes down, Jolly Green Giant flies over, a flap opens up. I couldn't make sense of it. I'm just staring into the tank, and the worst part is I can see my own dumb face in the reflection in the bottom of the tank. It's staring back at you, and I'm hoping for like a Disney moment, like maybe the water will ripple away, and there's my dad staring back at me like, adjust the float, son, and I'm like, oh, thanks, Dad, and then he ripples away. Yeah, that didn't happen. I had to go on YouTube. That's how I fixed it. I had to go on YouTube. I had to watch a video someone else's dad made so I could fix my toilet. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for playing along.